Hey yo, it is Guido coming at you with a tactics talk, and it is moi in my M41D. It's a Chinese light tank. This came out several years ago, I think. It was one of the first tanks I believe I got as a CC and did a review on. Probably played it 30 times, 25, 30 times. Somewhere around 50 or 60, I think now. Part of my 100 battle challenge, the self-imposed challenge to get every tier 5 and above up to 100 battles. Did not have 100 battles, so I've been playing this one a bit along the way, and this is really this is a little gem of a tank, I have come to find out. Now, I liked it fine when I did the review, but there's certain things about this tank that I have come to find out. Get spotted as I come in here. The shell velocity is amazing. It's got pretty good pen, and it is a bit of a bully as a scout. It's a big scout. So it's got decent DPM, good pen, fast firing gun, which is good for counter scout. Also wheelies, does really well against the wheeled tanks. Not as much lead fire required. I've talked about this a couple times with this tank, especially on stream. But it's just a big bully tank, and I really do enjoy this tank. So we are here on Studzianski, and I just come raging. Look at that, I get a bounce off that. One of those lucky bounces. It's not like you would trust the armor too much. I'm just going to rage in on this Bat Chat. Tried to ram him, but couldn't quite get there. Getting the ring around the rosy chase right here, and then the T-32 comes in. I think, well, that's probably it for me. Let's get rid of the mod one. And I changed my mind. Probably should have gone after the Bat Chat the whole time. He's probably on a reload, it looks like. I don't know why the T-32 didn't come in. Maybe he's tracked up there. Is that indeed what is happening with him? Hard to tell. No, he's just a bit of a muppet. Maybe he was tracked and he just got it fixed. So we'll auto aim these 54 mod. The thing about a tank that you use auto aim on, when it's got high shell velocity, it is a much better shot because it's going right at center mass, and if you get any left to right movement, it doesn't hurt as much, the auto aim. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this and make sure this guy goes away. There we go. Good gun depression on this thing. So just get in there and bully those other light tanks. Now I had help, right? Obviously there's mediums in there. That move, I like that move. It's a little bit difficult to shift to the turret because he gets away from my gun depression. I'm going to get to this move in a minute. What I don't want to do, this is an angle thing, guys. What I don't want to do is go out into the open over there, giving him a shot. He's got good gun depression. The further I go out this way, the less angle down he has, and I will uncover from this ridge. So I have to be very careful about that. I thought about it for a second to get a shot and went, no, let's not give him a free shot he doesn't deserve. So we get in there and we create a pretty good advantage. The other scout goes raging in there out in the open for some reason. You'll notice that we've got 1, 2, 4 big TDs sitting back there, right? A charioteer, 2 ISUs, and an SU, plus 2 arties. So we've got to be a bit careful about how we do this. And this map's interesting. We have a huge advantage right now. That was a bit of a risk because I could have easily been spotted by something as the bushes were not solid when I shot. We have a good advantage, but we've got a bunch of turtled up guys. What we need to do is clear out the factory next so that we can free up what our guys are doing in the north. Unfortunately, we don't quite get to that because what happens is we'll go ahead and get rid of him. Nice accurate gun. Zooms in quickly. I'm just telling you, this scout is a really cool little scout. So we get a kill on that guy up to 2,000 damage. I need to get these TDs lit if I can, but I'd love to get rid of these guys in the middle. But they're kind of getting beat up. Not much going on in the north, and all our guys are sitting down here behind me in the south. So I start thinking I'd really, after I futz around with this guy a little bit, I really need to start thinking about trying to get some of these TDs lit and figure out how to do that. They're all going to be back in there, either on that little ridge, which I'll show you here in a minute. Do I get it? No, he dies. Either on that ridge right there in front of me, or potentially in the back corner. There were 2 back there. It looked like 1 ran off, but I'm not certain if the other one did. That leaves the 4 TDs hiding in the back. 1's in the very north, so there's 3 around me somewhere. Unless the one in the very north got away. You'll notice that the CDA and the LHM TV are moving, and all of a sudden I see this guy. I try to carve in and not take this hit. Boom. I mean, look at that. I'm not even certain. I guess it's got the gun depression. That was pretty amazing, actually. Thank goodness he only did 338 and did not pen for some kind of 900 high roll thing. get a little, I thought I got a little assist going there. It looks like I didn't get anything out of it. Somebody else must have been spotting him. There we go. I find the 1:30 p.m. There's a little spotting damage for me. Find out that he's behind that building. Trying to knock that building down, but I think that's actually a solid building. So that one cannot be taken down. Charioteer takes out the ISM. We still have the 100-01 back there. So I'm going to try to ridge surf this a little bit. Now this is one of those points in the game where you have to be careful because they've evened up a little bit. We have an advantage, but these big TDs back here with a bunch of guys with not many hit points could even this thing up very quickly, and there's still a 600 hit point 100-01 anchoring over here. So as bad as this looks for the enemy team, it's not nearly as bad as you might think. So I have to go about this very, very carefully, or I can be part of the throwing the game. And I'm starting to think now that what I don't want to do is come up and over this and just YOLO in. We don't have enough firepower. Good news is we find this guy. So let's take out this guy who is isolated. That check goes right in front of him. Get away from me. He's trying to back up. We'll take a shot here and just sneak it through. Down he goes, and I get a little tracking damage on that. All right, good. That's one of the 4. Gives us a little bit more freedom of movement. There's one looks like in the back. There's one right here on this ridge. The other one's up in the corner. So I start thinking that what I really want to do is just go away and stop getting lit, because my other problem over there obviously is the artillery. We're starting to get guys close enough that if the artillery shows up, I just take a snap on him because I'm thinking he's looking at me. The other problem we have is, yeah, he did see me. The other problem we had is the artillery could start taking out people as well, especially little light tanks running around with not a lot of hit points. So I'm going to come over here and we're going to go ahead and jump in here on this 100-01. I was hoping the 50-100 would help me out a bit, and he ends up dying here. I'm going to try to take him. Shot of opportunity. We'll just stop and take him down. Then we got an artillery, another shot of opportunity. Now it's starting to collapse on him, right? We finally got some eyes in there. We've got guys coming from every direction, and this is just cleanup on aisle 2. I've got 2,800. I can take one hit from this guy. I'm just going to come in here with the rest of my gold. I've got fired more than I wanted to. I had picked the gold because I knew I was going after the 100-01, but I got those shots of opportunity. One into his back. This time he starts to turn, so I'm just going to go for the flat of his turret. Then I'll use the speed of the tank to come around and try to get that flat of the turret again, and we'll take that guy down for 3,500 damage. And meanwhile, while I was doing that, they finally got in there, lit up all the guys in the back. Once you get that close to those guys hanging out, there's no fallback position for those TDs, so it goes pretty quickly if you can avoid getting wiped out fast, which they did. Obviously, you can see that both the scouts ended up living right there. And I was able to flex over and take out the 100-01, help the guys take the 100-01 out. 5 kills, 3,501 damage, 368 assists. Ends up being my first ace mastery in this tank. And I just like this tank. It's a big scout. As a general rule, I don't care too much for the big scouts. I think the Hawk 30 is similar to this as far as being a really big scout that is a bit of a bully as well. And I do like the Hawk 30, so maybe I'm talking out both sides of my mouth on not liking the big scouts. I guess the point of that is that I like the smaller scout style, let's put it that way. But this big old bulldog version, Chinese version, of course you gotta love the old Christmas camo. Look at that. Got the Christmas camo on it. So I wanted to show you guys that aggressive play style in a scout, in a scout that can kind of do it. Clearly pretty permissive. It's an all tier 8 battle in there, so that's going to help. You're going to have to be much more careful against 9s and 10s in this thing because they're going to tear it up pretty badly. I'm not saying it can take on an EBR 105 with its gun. I'm just saying it's going to even the field a little bit for you as far as trading shots with those guys, with its accuracy and its shell velocity. That's all I got, man. Thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Thanks for the support of the channel. If you're looking for other ways to do so, you can find those down in somewhere down in the description. We will see you.